Hi, I'm theciaellis, and welcome to Grandma's Homestead. And literally, just as soon as I turned on the camera, a breeze came up, and I guess it's okay because it's almost noon, and we had like 1.6 inches of rain last night. Sorry, I got to turn around where you can actually see me, huh? And it's gloomy. I mean, the rain has passed for now, but the sun has not come out, and it's kind of chilly today. I think I looked at it and it's 66 degrees, which is unusual for this time of year for us. But let's do a little bit of a farm update. I haven't done one of those in 2 or 3 weeks. I had gotten away from them for a little bit, but it's time to do it again. This is an orchid that Kenzie's mother had given us for, I think it's for Kenzie's birthday last year or something. And I kept it in the house all winter long, but now it's actually coming back and looking pretty decent for the summer. This poor thing, you can see it's got new stuff. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look. I don't even know what kind of plant this is. This is a plant that Kenzie wanted at one time, and I bought it for her, and sometimes it looks really vibrant and healthy, and right now it looks like it's been beat up, and I'm wondering if it needs to be trimmed up. And the same thing, this is I believe it was tulips that was given to me for Mother's Day by my secret sister, and mums from last fall that my secret sister gave me, and that's pretty cool. But I trimmed them back, but yeah, they've seen better days. I need a transplant. Now that's one project I got coming up pretty soon that I want to do. Now the mint, I transplanted it from a smaller pot to a bigger one, but look how much it's already grown. Goodness me. This is a chocolate mint. It's kind of funny. Kenzie, do you need a drink? Kenzie likes to pinch them off when she comes in for work at night and chew on them a little bit. This is another one that Kenzie plants that has been redone, a Kenzie plant. So, yeah. But, I don't know if you remember, a week or two ago, I took all this part, took it all apart and planted it with stuff. And so I've got some things coming up. I thought on the bottom tier is echinacea. And I thought I had seen some growth in there, but I don't see it right now. The second to the bottom is zinnia, and you can see there is a little bit of growth in that. This other tier is marigold. Is that what that said? Nope, morning glory. So this is morning glory. Oh, and I'm trying to decide if I see something. I don't see anything coming up with the morning glory. This is the marigold, and I see one here, and the top. Oh look, I finally got something coming up here. This is supposed to be tarragon. So this is supposed to be tarragon, thyme. I'm not seeing any thyme or basil or parsley yet, so I'm not sure about that because it's been a couple weeks. I did just fertilize the water today when I watered them, so maybe we'll start seeing something, because I got to thinking maybe the ground is just depleted. This is a plant that Tom gave me for Mother's Day yesterday, dianthus, and it's pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing how that looks as it goes. Looks like it needs to be deadheaded. And Tom has done a pretty good job of keeping a bunch of the tomato plants and stuff out there. They're out there in the garden, but these are the ones that's left over, and I really want to get this one transplanted because it's looking real good, and it's a San Marzano plant, so I'd like to get that one out there for sure. But yeah, at least there's been some changes on the porch plants, and I'm hoping to get some more going. Tomorrow these duck eggs will have been in the incubator for a week, so we've obviously got some more time to get going for them. But I started 30 of those, and I'll be checking them as time goes on. And these poor rabbits, I follow 2 or 3 weather apps and try to stay on top of it, and it did say it was going to have rain, but this morning while I'm doing my book work, I get a notice that a thunderstorm is about to hit about 15 minutes after it starts raining. I got to looking at that, so I knew it was supposed to rain. The rabbits can do rain. Well, apparently they do pretty good with thunderstorms too, because this thunderstorm blew through and they were wet this morning. But they seem to be doing all right, and I'd like to be able to get them back on the ground, so that they can actually enjoy the grass that's supposed to be coming up through the bottom there. But right now, this is probably the best thing for them because it is so wet. This is not my biggest peach tree, but this one is showing the most signs of fruit. And they're looking pretty good. I'm having some trouble. That probably means that there's a worm in there somewhere. And that happens quite a bit out here, especially since we don't spray anything. But you think I'd figure out something to keep the worms out of them. But it's got a pretty good amount of fruit on it. We'll just see if there's going to be anything left for us to eat after the worms are done with it, huh? This is my big pear tree. And it's got a pretty good amount of fruit on it. They're still pretty small, and that's fine, because that just means that they're doing their own thing on their own time. But it looks like so far so good. Look how tall that goes. But this is my pear tree that's looking pretty decent. This I had not noticed before because Tom had not been working with it, and I don't pay attention. But this is a pecan tree, and he's done some grafts. Oh, it looks like it's doing pretty good too. This one is. He has some he takes some grafts. He's got an uncle that lives around the corner that has some good grafts on them, or the kind of trees that he wants. Paper shell. I can't tell how that one's not looking too bad, but that graft is looking pretty good. That's cool. That'd be good to see, to show that to Tom. I wonder what this is that's on these leaves. Interesting. But anyway, this is apparently is a pecan tree that Tom has grafted. Oh, he's even got them labeled. What has he got them labeled with? I can't tell. It's either M or a W. And that one says L. So, I don't know. We're not there yet. But in the distance you can hear my turkey hen calling. Well, she was. There she goes. I did that in the distance because I knew when we got closer that she would get quiet. But here's my unlikely pair of birds. A little red hen and my turkey hen seem to be still getting along pretty good. And yes, I said, like, there was another storm last night, and they're staying dry, and I'm glad. And honestly, as much as Little Red Hen was always wandering around and stuff, she actually the last few days have not been wanting to get out of the pen even to go foraging. So I guess that's pretty good. Well, she might come out now. We'll have to see. I'll give her a little room, see if she wants to come out. You want to go foraging a little bit? She might be a little bit nervous with Candy there. So I have a really good friend of mine that gave me some Jerusalem artichoke, and I don't know what I'm doing. And honestly, they sat in a bucket for a few days, and I got them transferred. I think that's the reason some of them looking a little peaked at the end, but some of the other leaves are looking pretty good. And I think they start somewhere through here, and they're going all the way back up into that corner. She dug them up from a much smaller plot because they were so congested together, and I spread them out. But it's going to be interesting to see. And what I did is, or Jerusalem artichoke is something that it can take over and spread and stuff. So my regular garden is over there. We'll go look at a closer view of it here in a few minutes. And there's a fence line right here, and this is what I call the north garden. And I'm hoping to get some okra. I mean, I gotta get it cut back down again. But I'm hoping to get some okra and some squashes and stuff like that. Certainly squashes, because you know what? If I can get it cut down, I don't have to really do a whole lot of tilling or anything like that. I can pretty much let it go, and if the grass grows up, that's fine too, because squashes and melons and stuff, they vine. Well, for sure the melons. So that's what I want to do out here in this garden area, is get some melons going, and I need to get in gear with that. But while that's going out there, it won't hurt anything if the Jerusalem artichoke kind of spread out. And apparently I have an audience while I'm talking. Yes, everything is laden with weeds in a lot of ways. It looks like our zucchinis and yellow squashes did not come up. This is what's left of the cabbage and Brussels sprouts, I believe. I can't remember what it was that has come up here. But you can tell they're already getting eaten by bugs. There's another one there. Boy, look at that. And the rabbit got hold of that one, looks like. Goodness. My potatoes. Tom says he has seen some potato bugs on them. Little miniature little bitty grasshopper. I don't know if you can see that, but that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen one that little. But the potatoes themselves, I believe, are looking pretty decent. And they come on all the way down to here. And then onions, yes, they got a lot of weeds too, but they're looking pretty decent too. And I'm seeing some bulbs, so that's cool. Tomatoes, look at that. We're getting some blooms. I know, oh yeah, down here we're getting the tomatoes are coming on, the actual tomatoes themselves. I think Tom said these are all Jet Star. These are his favorite tomatoes. And they're fine, but I've also asked somewhere down through here, I've got some canning tomatoes too. And Jet Star can be canned, but they have a little more juice in them than the canning tomatoes do. And that's what basically a lot of the differences between eating tomatoes and canning tomatoes is canning tomatoes has less juice in them, so you don't have to cook them so long to get them to be a thicker consistency. So these are all looking pretty decent, and I'm glad for that. And I think this is where Tom said that that I've got some Amish paste here or something. And what's he got? He's got jalapeno peppers here. That's cool. And some more. No, I was going to say these are more tomatoes. These are more peppers. I don't know. Those are definitely peppers. I don't know what these are. Oh yeah, these are tomatoes. Okay. And these are some tomatoes he hasn't caged yet. But that's all he's gotten. This is all more that still needs to be filled up. Of course, we got to de-junglify it first. Maybe I can get out here and do that sometime pretty soon. It's not as bad because we threw down a tarp, and it's all covered with last fall's grasses and plants and stuff. There's a tarp underneath this, and it's being held down by some lumber. So actually this is probably why he has this, because the tarp was over in here. So that won't be so bad, but obviously this needs to be cut down and taken care of. We're back in the chicken tractor, and after me telling you the last time about how this inner thing was working pretty good, there were 12 little chicks in here. Now there's 9. I have no idea what happened to the other 3. But the ones that are left are actually looking pretty good. They're healthy and having a good time. I did do some footage of them the other day for my Farm Animal Life channel. And it's going to be quite a while before I get that footage out. But it was kind of interesting to go through it and see what they were doing. Well, it's rained so much you can't tell that I've actually was out here just a couple of days ago weeding these. But these asparagus cages I've already harvested for this morning, so I'm hoping we don't find any more. Because if I do find some, that means I didn't do a very good job of hunting them this morning. But yeah, these are the asparagus cages that are down here by my poor birds that also have had plenty of water for a while. Well, it looks like something's already eaten a whole bunch of the mulberries, and I think they're supposed to get dark before they get eaten, like a deep purple. But there's already a lot of fruit missing on this mulberry tree, but there still looks like there's some here too. So we'll just keep an eye on it. But yeah, it looks like the birds and stuff have gotten hold of it pretty quickly. I guess that's the way it goes, huh? I had been coming down here and scything down through here, but it looks like Tom has come after me. I don't see anything in that hole, but he's come after me here in the last day or two, and he's actually weeded out his blackberries. And that one's looking pretty decent, but as late in the year as it is, you know, these are pretty small. I don't know if this is one of the ones he planted, but it's looking a little bit bigger, and this one actually has a few blossoms on it. Oh, and some fruit too. Look, there's a little bit of fruit with it. Excellent. I bet he's already found them and is happy to see that. And here's some more blossoms over here. All right. And these are my elderberries. This little batch is looking pretty darn good. And there's another one over there that's got some flowers on it too. So man, wouldn't it be so cool if I can actually get some elderberries this year? If I do, it'll be the first time. I usually video from the outside of the vineyard and into it, but today I wanted to do it from the inside of the vineyard because it gives us a little bit of a different view of the fruits, of the apples and stuff. And they're looking pretty good. This little tree has got some nice little red apples coming on, and this tree's just looking darn good with the fruit. Look at all of that. So that's nice, and I'm sure Tom will be happy when he doesn't eat. The pigs love apples. Actually, my asparagus beds are looking really sad. I get down here and start weeding them, and then I'll show you here in a minute, but you can tell where the parts I haven't weeded, and the asparagus grows up in it. I try to look real hard, and we've got some asparagus that were too short to do this morning, but looks like them definitely gonna have, oh, here, see, here's a skinny one that I missed, and another little skinny one. But the beds only go out, are supposed to only go out to here, and I've got asparagus coming up out here outside of it, and that's fine. It's just, I just want to make sure, because I think Tom accidentally mowed one the other day when he mowed, and that's part of the reason these beds look so bad, because he mowed and he shot a whole bunch of grass right into my asparagus beds. And then there's places like this where I didn't get it done, and the wind, well, here's the best example of the wind just blew the grass right straight down. Underneath that is a weeded bed. You just can't tell. This first row, I think it's the first 5 rows are Chamberson, and I'm not seeing a lot of fruit on them. And what's kind of crazy is how many of these guys are dying out. And what usually happens too, do you see where we've got one that's died out right there, and then a new shoot coming up? That happens a lot too. But I don't ever want to cut the ones just in case, you know, off season, just in case it's still good, and then the next year I've got a whole bunch of shoots and no main stem, and that's the reason a lot of this stuff has not grown any better than it has. I'm not the one that took the classes. Oh, here's a little bit of fruit here. The classes for taking care of a vineyard, but I do my best. See, here's one that had grown up, and I've got 2 or 3 shoots here. But this one needs to be cut back. This one is looking pretty decent where it was pruned, but it's also got shoots. This is a Chamberson that's on my 3rd row, and it's looking pretty healthy. And I want to show you this one because, okay, the clusters are kind of far apart, or the plants are a little bit far apart. Sorry, I forgot I had done that. But in general, this vine is looking pretty healthy and good. And I had wanted to show you these clusters because I'm going to go down here to the Rougeon in a minute, and I can show you the difference in them. Okay, I have not gotten down in here to mow or anything, and Tom doesn't mow the vineyard. I have to do it. I actually have to scythe it. But do you see how much closer the clusters are on the Rougeon? And as they get bigger, they have a much tighter cluster on their grape clusters as compared to the Chamberson. But honestly, I am no connoisseur. When you pull the grapes, they're all a deep red, and they look, and to me they taste just about the same. But when you see them on the vine, they definitely look different. This needs to be pruned too, but this is my beautiful chocolate rose plant that one of Tom's cousins gave me a few years ago. It was in a pot, and we had it up there when we lived in the camper, and it wanted sun so bad that it leaned out and actually got dumped over. And I thought, okay, I'm going to put it down here and where it can get some sun and be pretty. But yeah, man, but boy, I tell you what, these thorns are wicked. And that's part of the reason I don't get these pruned up like I need to. And a lot of these blossoms are looking a little rough because of the storm and stuff. But I've got brand new buds coming on. And this as long as it gets enough water, it'll bloom, I believe, all summer long. But it's nice. I like the color that it puts out all summer. And these guys, even though it's muddy, they're out and snoozing in the sun. Maybe I can show you the piglets later, but it usually doesn't do me good to walk up close to the pigs, because as soon as you do, they think they're getting, watching, looks like Goldie Hawn trying to scratch. But I don't want to rile them up, because I think they're going to get fed, and they're not until this evening. This is a patch of wild blackberries. There's a metal pile underneath here, and look at all those berries. Berries and berries and berries. Just covered. And some of them are starting to turn red, which means they're going to start turning dark here pretty soon and be ripe. I usually don't do too much with wild blackberries, mainly because they're thorny. And these seem to be a little bit bigger, but a lot of the wild blackberries, the berry themselves is so tiny. And it takes you like hours to pick one little patch to get 2 cups worth of blackberries. And that's just a waste of time for me. But I can admire them and admire how prolific they are. Okay, yep, it rained again. Look at that, their bowl is half buried in the mud. That's gonna be fun to get out. Oh well. Yep, these guys are eating good. They're still nursing, obviously, and but they're eating solid food too. And looks like they're up and around. And if you can see, even though it rained, and the stream was coming down through that way, just on the other side of it. So Tom helped me move this pig hut the other day. But you can even still see where the stream was coming down on the fence there. But at least there's not standing water inside of the pig hut, and I'm glad for that. Yep, but some of them are muddy. Some of them are scratching their butts on the on the pig huts. But they're doing good. Getting good energy, staying warm, even when it's wet. Mom's been a good mom. Let's see if I can get around here a little bit better. Get you a better view. That's a little bit better. Of course, my shadow's in the way now. So, they're looking good, and I'm glad. Yeah, I got a different direction. Oh, here's another view of that pan. Oh my goodness. But yep, they're looking good. Now here's some of them where they got them a snack, and now they're going to start nursing again. Okay, I believe that was a pretty decent look around tonight, or all day. Like I said, it is this evening, so that's when I was showing you the piglets and stuff. But yeah, we had more rain even after that. I think, like what I tell you this morning, we had 1.6 inches of rain this morning, and then this afternoon we had rain. I am supposed to be at a softball game right now, but it got called off for the rain, so that's why I'm home. And I believe I'm going to be able to get you a decent sunset tonight, mainly because there are clouds tonight. Sorry, I'm hearing stuff. And the only thing that will keep it is if another shower passes through and I can't have my camera out in there. But I'm going to try to do a sunset for you tonight anyway. That's all I got for you today. I've got other things going that I'm hoping to get to you so I can get some video out to you soon. Until then, check out my Instagram account. I'm at theciaellis, theciaellis. Each day I try to do a quote of the day and a scripture of the day, and then also on Instagram pictures of piglets or whatever, you know, my roses or anything like that. So that's what's going on my Instagram account, so check that out. All right guys, that's all I have for you. God bless. I'll see you next time.